So 2018 is over and we are now in 2019. And in your experience, Brett, what are some of the trends that you think that we're going to see in 2019?
I think you're going to see more of an embrace of a blended workforce. And what I mean by that is it's not just about race or nationality or gender. It's about a variety of things, including contract workers, gig workers, and full-time workers. You're seeing a real diversity occur in the workplace that we've never, ever seen before. And organizations are going to have to get better at engaging and building relationships with all sorts of employees, and employees that have different schedules, different, they have flex time. They have some people that are permanent, some people that are not permanent. And that's going to drive a real challenge for organizations. So I think one trend is learning how to embrace a blended workforce. I think that's one trend. A second trend, I think, is we have low unemployment rate. Mm-hmm. And so the second trend is really about the employee experience.
Yeah.
And not just the employee experience, but an employee experience and a focus on retention.
Yeah.
How do we keep our people? And what control do we have or influence do we have over that? And I think organizations are struggling with that. We really focus on helping them learn how to do stay interviews, helping organizations learn how to do retention assessments, risk assessments. Mm-hmm. We call them stay assessments. And then building plans on how to make sure that you retain each person on your team that you want to retain. How do you keep your very best talent? I think that's a huge trend that's happening. Another trend, which I'm going to give you as a third one, and that's going to be about using technology appropriately. There's been a huge focus on moving towards technology.
Yeah, so AI much and everything, yeah.
Oh, everything. And people want to move everything over to technology platforms, even when it's not appropriate. The reason they want to do it is they want to stop travel budget costs. They want to create efficiencies. They want to reduce expenses, all kinds of things. But they're starting to do it at the risk of collaboration, at the risk of building relationships, at the risk of real performance change. We have to remember what we're trying to accomplish, and then we have to say, what's the best way to accomplish it? And are there things that should move to technology? Absolutely. But are there things where we really still need to engage each other in a live, professional fashion? Absolutely.
Live relationship.
Absolutely. So I think it's really becoming more about we need to learn how to use technology appropriately. I'll give you a great example. It's happening not just internally in organizations, it's happening externally in organizations. If you've traveled lately and you've gone to a hotel, and I do it all the time, I can make my reservations on my phone.
Yeah.
I can check in on my phone. I can get my key on my phone, and I can check out on my phone. Literally can walk into a hotel and never speak to anyone who works there. So now,
it begs the question. There's no talk. There's nothing.
There's nothing. There's no relationship. There's no allegiance. There's no connection. And so really, it creates a real problem, because now what's the difference between Marriott or Hyatt and Airbnb? A room is just a room. Where do I get more room? Where do I get more for my money? And now we're starting to put price pressure on the hotel industry because they've forgotten something, which is the hotel industry is a hospitality industry. And a lot of the brands have forgotten what hospitality really is. They've embraced technology so much that they're losing sight of hospitality and connection. And by the way, you're seeing it in every industry. I'm not going to pick on hotels.
In everything.
It's in every industry.
You can order your food from so this is our life now. So everything is done from our phone, technology, everything, banking, absolutely. Everything, online shopping.
And if you do that and you don't do it right, you lose your differentiation. You lose your advantage in terms of pricing and profit. And you lose your allegiance and loyalty in your customers. That's a scary thought. And I think we have to reassess how we're using technology. Do we use technology for efficiency purposes, or do we use technology to strengthen relationships? Do we use technology to save costs and reduce travel, or do we use technology to build more of a collaborative environment? We really have to make conscious and intentional choices about our use of technology so it actually is helping our business long term. It's sustainable. Right now, it's about cutting budgets, and that's not good.